What's up, everybody? Justin here with my Impact Wrestling. I know it's late, but so what? I don't got to be anywhere tomorrow. It's WrestleMania weekend, and this is my Impact Wrestling United We Stand review. It just ended. It took place in New Jersey, so it just ended. I wish it would have started a little bit earlier. I really do. I wish it would have started like an hour earlier. As I'm on my phone. Anyways, checking my YouTube channel. So this is as I said, I wish Impact Wrestling's United We Stand. I wish it would have started like 1 hour earlier, but whatever. So I don't got nowhere to be tomorrow. So I was happy to watch it. I was happy to put down $20 to watch Impact Wrestling's United We Stand. It had the return of Rob Van Dam. The whole effing show returned at United We Stand. He made his return to Impact Wrestling. He signed a new deal with Impact also. So up first was Ultimate X. The Ultimate X match returned. You had talents from, I think, Lucha Underground. I got to get the list of talent that was in it because I forgot some of their names. As, God damn it. Looks like I got rid of. I can get it back, but I had the lineup on my computer saved. The lineup of the matches, so I can tell you the talents that were a part of the Ultimate X match. It was not for a title. It had Jack Evans. Jack Evans, you might remember that name. The guy's a long time like cruiserweight wrestler, high flyer. I think he's a part of AAA now, I think. Also, Johnny Impact, the Impact World Champion, was a part of this Ultimate X match. Others that were a part of it. OVE's Jake Crisp, or or something like that. Whatever, who cares? No disrespect to him, but Jay Crisp, whatever his name is. He's a part of OVE. Also, it had Dayton Fox. I don't know who that is. Pat Buck. Cotto Brazil was not a part of it. Another guy that I never heard of, but he looked pretty good. He's like a high flyer. Ace Austin. Ace Austin was a part of it. Cotto Brazil, I guess, was supposed to be a part of it. He's from Major League Wrestling, but he was not. Also a part of the Ultimate X, as I said, was Johnny Impact and Jack Evans. So this was Ace Austin. The guy climbed up to the scaffold like 25, 30 feet up where the Ultimate X ropes hang, where the Ultimate X ropes, the four of them hang. Well, he climbed up to the steel scaffold that hangs the ropes. He climbed up to the top of it, like 25, 30 feet up, and Ace Austin did a flip, front somersault flip, and took out everybody on the floor. That was insane. Ace Austin, I don't know who you are, but damn, that was risky as hell. And Jay Crisp of OVE hit a cutter off the Ultimate X ropes. That's pretty awesome. Johnny Impact wins the Ultimate X match. Up next, we had Tommy Dreamer, a 6-man tag. I shouldn't have said Tommy Dreamer because he was a mystery partner surprise, but Moose, Eddie Edwards, and Brian Cage up against the team of Lucha Underground talents. So it's Lucha Underground against Impact Wrestling. Brian Cage, Moose, Eddie Edwards needed a mystery partner. They didn't have one until Tommy Dreamer's music hit, and Tommy Dreamer comes out. He's a partner of Moose and Eddie Edwards and Brian Cage. The Lucha Underground team was Aerostar. Let me get the names here. Aerostar, Drago, and Marty the Moth. Those were the names that were part of the Lucha Underground team against Moose, Eddie Edwards, Tommy Dreamer, Brian Cage. Moose leaves and turns on his team. Again, he turns on his team because he turned on the past. He turned on Eddie Edwards. So Moose leaves and Eddie goes after Moose and takes him out with a dive. Anyways, Tommy Dreamer gets pinned and defeated by Team Lucha Underground defeats Team Impact Wrestling. Up next, we had the Knockouts Championship Fatal 4-Way. A 4-way Knockouts Championship match. Taya Valkyrie defending against Rosemary, Jordan Grace, and what's her name? The fourth knockout in this was, I got to get her name, Katie Forbes, Rosemary, Taya Valkyrie, Jordan Grace. I believe Katie Forbes was a part of WOW, Women of Wrestling. She looked really familiar, like she was a part of WOW. She has a whole bunch of tats on one arm. That's Katie Forbes. In WOW, I think she was Cleo Hertz, I think. So, anyways, I thought Taya Valkyrie should win and retain. I love Rosemary. I will always support Rosemary. Big fan of hers. Jordan Grace is also really good. But Taya Valkyrie should have won, should have retained, and she did. Taya Valkyrie wins and is still your Knockouts champion and win about, after the entrances, it probably win 8 minutes. I think 8 or 9, 7 minutes, something like that. Could have been a bit longer, but whatever. Taya Valkyrie wins and retains and is still your Knockouts champion, Taya Valkyrie. I'm a big fan of hers. Up next, we had Team MLW. Team MLW taking on Team Impact. Team MLW was Low-Key and Martinez taking on LAX. Representing Impact was LAX. It was a good tag match. I enjoyed it. LAX wins. Up next, we had an intergender match. Intergender. Joey Ryan, the scumbag, I call him. I don't like the guy. I don't like his gimmick. I don't like his character. Yeah, good for him. It's something different nobody's ever seen before in wrestling with his stupid finisher, the dick flip. I don't care if it's different. I'm not a fan of Joey Ryan and his character. So, Joey Ryan taking on Tessa Blanchard. Tessa Blanchard. Badass. Great talent. I love Tessa Blanchard. She is great. She is awesome. Tessa Blanchard beat the crap out of Joey Ryan. She beat the crap out of him. Before the match, Joey Ryan, before the match, he was sucking on one of his lollipops, and he gives it to a fan. In the front row, and a guy, actually took it, put it in his mouth. Fucking gross, in my opinion. Why would you do that? As a fan, why the hell would you do that? The fan was probably drunk as hell. That's my guess. because I would not do that. He put a lollipop, try to put it in my mouth, I'd smack it the fuck away from my mouth. Because, sorry, I'm not going to take another guy's a ton of his saliva into my mouth. I'm not going to do that. Unless it's like my brother or something. Joey Ryan, you're a scumbag and you're gross. I don't like your character. And that stupid fan that took your lollipop in his mouth, didn't you ever think before you put it in your mouth, why didn't you ever think Joey Ryan could have had that lollipop up his ass? You don't know where he had it, and he put it in your damn mouth. Disgusting. Anyways, Tessa, Blanchard, Joey Ryan, I enjoyed the match. I thought it was good. It was a good intergender match. I really enjoyed Tessa Blanchard beating the shit out of him. I wish she would have beat him up more and more and more, and would have never stopped beating his ass and kicking his ass. Tessa Blanchard, Joey Ryan does his finish on her, the stupid dick flip, one of the dumbest finishers. It's not even a finisher. It's a stupid, dumbass gimmick move that's one of the dumbest ever in wrestling history. So he does a dick flip to Tessa. She actually sold it for him. If I was her, I wouldn't have sold it. I would have kicked him in the nuts, for real. Even though I'm sure he wears a cup. Anyways, I'm rambling on. Tessa goes off the top rope after the dick flip to her. She goes off the top. And even Joey Ryan got to put his lollipop in Tessa's mouth. And then he super kicked her in the face with the lollipop in her mouth. But she goes up to the top rope and she hits the code breaker to Joey Ryan off the top rope for the 1, 2, 3. Tessa Blanchard wins. I loved it. I loved it that Tessa won. Tessa is one of the best in the world. If you've never seen Tessa Blanchard wrestle, you should. Tessa wins, defeats Joey Ryan up next. Up next, we had the X Division Championship. Rich Swann defending against, I thought he's from Dragon Gate Wrestling, or whatever they're called. Dragon Gate USA, or maybe they're Dragon Gate in Japan. I don't know where Dragon Gate is from. I know they used to be called Dragon Gate USA, but whatever. I think he's from AAA. Rich Swann defending against a talent from AAA in Mexico. I can't pronounce the guy's name. For media or something like that. Anyways, Rich Swann wins and retains the X Division title. They had a pretty good X Division match. I enjoyed it. Never saw that talent before from AAA. The guy that took on Rich Swann, I've never seen him before. But what I saw, I liked. The guy was a good high flyer. Good cruiserweight X Division wrestler. So up next, we had Monsters Ball. Oh my God, this was a bloodbath and a street fight and a war. Monsters Ball, Jimmy Havoc. Jimmy Havoc. I like the guy. I've seen him before. Jimmy Havoc take on Sami Callihan in a Monsters Ball match. Right away when the match starts, Jimmy Havoc gets his staple gun out and staples Sami in the nuts. In the dick. He stapled him in it. So after that, they go to the outside of the ring and they're brawling, fighting on the outside of the ring. Jimmy Havoc right away gets busted open. He's bleeding a lot of blood. Gets a chain wrapped around his head by Sami and a chain in his mouth. Jimmy Havoc busted open, bleeding profusely. Not like, it's not buckets. It wasn't like dripping down his face or anything, but he's bleeding a lot. I'm glad he didn't blade and cut himself really bad like Eddie Guerrero did in Judgment Day at Judgment Day 2004. Eddie cut himself way too deep. He must have hit a vein or something. So Jimmy Havoc bleeding a lot. There's chairs in the ring, trash cans in the ring, a lot of weapons in the ring. So back in the ring, Sami Callihan pulls out a stapler, starts stapling Jimmy Havoc in the head and near the balls. So then he staples, Sami Callihan staples newspapers to Jimmy Havoc. He has newspapers stuck to his arms and stuck to his head because he got stapled with newspapers in his head and arms. So after that, then Sammy pulls out a bag of lemons and starts squeezing them, lemon juice, squeezing the lemon juice in the wound, in the cut, in the blood of Jimmy Havoc. Ow. That would fucking probably sting like hell. I mean, God almighty, I would never want to have that happen to me. Don't ever do that. If you have a deep cut, don't ever pour lemon juice in it. I never have, but I'm sure it would sting like hell. So after he pours lemon juice on Jimmy's cut, trash can put over the head. Trash can over the head of Jimmy Havoc. Sammy hits him with a steel chair against the trash can like 2 or 3 times. But Jimmy's still in the trash can. Jimmy Havoc starts fighting back, going like this towards Sammy, hitting him with the trash can. So after that, Jimmy Havoc gets out a piece of paper, just like this, has it folded and right in between the fingers of Sami Callihan. Paper cuts in Sammy's fingers. Then he takes his boot off. And Jimmy Havoc this Monsters Ball was basically one of their street fights, all the same spots I saw before in a match they had in MLW. So Jimmy takes off Sammy's boot. Paper cut goes on his toe and on his foot. My God, in between his toes, like that had to hurt. So anyways, then he cuts his toes, cuts his fingers, paper cuts them. Paper cut his mouth, put it in between his mouth, went boom, ow. That would effing hurt, I'm sure, if he did it for real. God, I haven't got a paper cut since I was like probably in over 20 years, but goddamn, paper cuts hurt. But that's still a great spot, entertaining as hell, doing paper cuts to Sami Callihan on his fingers and in between his toes and in his mouth. So after that, we had so what the hell? Oh yeah, then Jimmy Havoc pulls out a whole bunch of Legos, big Legos, and pours them in the ring. But they didn't really use them. And then Sammy, just 2 chairs are next to each other. Sami Callihan sets up 2 chairs in the middle of the ring next to each other. Sammy picks up Jimmy Havoc, power drives them through the 2 chairs for the 1, 2, 3. Sami Callihan wins. Monsters Ball. I'm not a fan of Sami Callihan. I am a fan of Jimmy Havoc, but not Sammy. But I was entertained by this Monsters Ball hardcore match. Now the main event. The Lucha Bros, the Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champions. The Lucha Bros, Pentagon Jr. and Ray Phoenix. I think they still are no, they aren't. The Lucha Bros are no longer MLW Tag Team Champions, but they were like 2 months ago. So the Lucha Bros, this was a dream extreme, they were calling it an extreme dream match. Lucha Bros taking on the returning Rob Van Dam. The whole effing show. RVD returns to Impact Wrestling and teams up with Sabu against the Lucha Bros. It is a dream match. Sabu should no longer be wrestling, but that's his life, his career, his decision. I thought Sabu wouldn't be able to barely move and barely walk or barely do anything, but he was able to move around. He didn't do any moonsaults or triple jump moonsaults. Sabu couldn't do that much. All he really did was punch, kick, and throw chairs. And he did jump off the top rope through a table, through the Lucha Bros. Anyways, the match was a brawl. It was like an old, like, let's say it was like a RVD Sabu ECW tag match. It was like in that kind of style from like 20 years ago when they teamed up. That's what it was. Same type of match. RVD looked damn good. RVD looked in great shape. And RVD hit a rolling thunder. And I'm still shocked Sabu can even walk, because that guy punished and beat his body to shit. So RVD and Sabu, they did look good as a team. A lot of ECW chants. And Don Callis was putting over New Jersey, saying this is ECW country, stuff like that. RVD and Sabu set up the Lucha Bros on one table in the middle of the ring. Sabu, RVD go up to the top ropes, jump off at the same time like they used to do in ECW. They hit coast to coast, put the Lucha Bros through the table. That was an awesome spot. And when RVD came out, when his Impact music hit, when Rob Van Dam, the whole effing show, that theme song, the crowd marked out. The crowd loved to see RVD. They love RVD. They love that he's back. RVD was probably one of the main reasons that many people showed up, in my opinion, for this United We Stand show. Even though they got to see the Lucha Bros and LAX and other great talents. RVD's a big star. And in my opinion, the guy is loved by the fans. Especially the fans of the original ECW. They love RVD. I still love the guy, and I was really happy to see RVD back in a wrestling ring. Again, the guy looked in great shape. But after they put the Lucha Bros through the table after that, Pentagon hits his package pile driver with a spike from a double stomp from Phoenix, and Pentagon pins and defeats Sabu. So the Lucha Bros defeat Rob Van Dam and Sabu after the match. They all shake hands, hold each other's hands up, and celebrate as United We Stand goes off the air. I hope you enjoyed my Impact Wrestling United We Stand review. Again, check out my Impact Wrestling United We Stand reactions. I did a reaction for the main event, RVD Sabu against the Lucha Bros. And I did a reaction for the Knockouts Fatal 4-Way title match. Check out my reactions. Like, comment, share, and subscribe my videos. See you tomorrow night when I will do NXT TakeOver reactions and an NXT TakeOver New York review. Hope you enjoyed United We Stand. Hope you enjoyed my review. Bye for now.